Hmm. How are you doing? You doing alright? St. George's Golf and CC. I don't even remember any of these courses.
Yo, so,
Hey,
Hi there. Welcome to the game. My name is John. Happy to have you alongside me today. We are
what's going
playing
on,
the
man?
match play today. This is going to be a good one. Let's go low. Ooh, looks like we're going to the fairway. Well, in the end, you ended up in the
I won't
rough.
be around too long
He's
tonight.
just
I
about
stayed
ready
up
to
too
tee
late
off.
the other night,
Let's
man.
see how he does.
yeah, I'm not gonna be on much longer. I'm not gonna be on very long tonight either.
You got work in the morning?
Yeah.
Shouldn't be too awkward out of here, just in the first cut.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm not real sure about what's gonna happen with it. Who knows? I mean, delivery season's over.
Well, I mean, you're still, dude. Like people always need packages delivered.
Woo!
Oh, yeah. I'll
Mhm.
approve that.
So, well,
All
I
right,
mean, I'm
this is
kind
the
of half
second.
expecting they might just say, all right, we don't have hours for anybody. Everybody just fucking fuck off. And then I got to find a new job. They haven't done. They always did the schedules on Friday for the
Yeah.
next week. So aside from being scheduled tomorrow, I've showed up there twice, and they didn't have anything like for me that day. Like I drove there. I'm not even sure that's legal.
All right, this is his third shot.
They had people just like standing there waiting for their shift, and they just didn't get one. So like I drove all the way out there for nothing. That happened to me twice.
Dude, we live in a different world now, man, and it's just gonna get crazier and crazier.
Okay, here's your chance to go
Like,
one up on your opponents.
You can't even survive on jobs these days, and honestly, most people can't even find one.
Fuck
That was
me.
almost
Even in the tech industry, like it's really hard to find jobs,
Okay, safely home with that putt.
which is
Okay,
crazy.
take this, you'll have the hole.
Yeah, I don't want to go back to driving Uber because it puts too much on my car too fast.
Starting the day at even
Yeah.
par. Lovely to see. Okay, that hole's going to be halved.
It's the only real downside to that job, right?
Yeah,
Don't they rent cars too? Like, can't
Yeah.
you rent a car from them?
but you end up spending so much money. It'd be like you're spending about $1,600 a month just in renting the car over and over again.
To me, that's outrageous, man.
It's about $400 a week to rent a car, and you have to do Uber
Here we go.
at least
See
a
what
little
this guy
bit.
does.
But it's like $400 a week for the car. That's without any sort of insurance or anything, and you're still putting gas in it and all that.
There's not a lot of balls
Yeah.
showing
They don't pay for the
up
gas either.
in here. This is the deep rough. Let's see
No,
what it
you're an independent
That is
contractor.
crazy, man.
No, you gotta. I mean, there's no gas benefits or anything. You're just putting miles on your car. If you're gonna do it for a consistent living, it takes that much. I mean, I've had
Here's
that
a
car for
6-iron from them.
just under 3 years, and I put over 80,000 miles on it.
And this is about 170
Just driving around doing
yards
Uber.
to the pin.
Wow.
So my car's at 207,000 miles now, so I gotta really find a job. Like, I'll just drive that car into the ground, so I don't want to have to rely on that again. If this Amazon
Dude,
thing falls through, which I really do think it's gonna, I'll just have to start looking for work. Have to start a new job.
Dude, that Uber, like, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. Like, I understand, like, you know, you did it for a while, it helped you get by and stuff, but it's one of the biggest fucking scams in the world
Yeah, well,
for
they all
stuff
are.
like that.
17-foot
Yeah.
putt.
They all are.
It's like a huge scam because all it is an app, and you just pick up people and get paid through the app, and they get their piece. But they don't like care about the people that are actually doing it at all. Like, you can do it whenever you want. You have to use your own shit. That shit's crazy to
Just
me.
missed an eagle there. And if he sinks
Like-
this next putt, he'll go one up.
You're gonna drive for them. They can't pay for your gas.
Oh,
Check DM.
and
It's
he's
a
got
literal
4
like
feet to
bajillion
go.
dollar industry. There's no way they can't pay for people's gas.
That
It's
will go for
absurd.
birdie. All right, give this a tap.
For people that want to rent a car, and it shouldn't be that much either. You're driving for them. That's it. I don't know.
There we go.
Yep.
All that stuff is a scam, dude. DoorDash, Uber, Lyft, and it completely destroyed the taxi industry, which was, I feel like,
We're on the 12th
pretty
hole of
good.
This one now.
No, I'll at least
Or
vouch
better.
for like the availability of getting a ride. When I first moved out here, I tried to call a cab for something, and it was like, okay, we'll be there in like an hour. It's like, okay, I can't do an hour. Holy shit. The
Well, I
convenience
mean-
of Uber and Lyft now is just too great. I don't mean great as in like just how big it is. That they win. That was it.
The thing is, though, man, it's like they're just robbing people.
Oh yeah.
Blind.
Oh, they're robbing their drivers too. So
Yeah, I know.
in New York, they got smacked with a
All right, let's see
massive
what he does
lawsuit in
on
New York
this
where
one.
they had to pay between the two of them $328 million for wage theft. Did you know that?
No, but I'm
I'm
not
sure they're
surprised
doing
with
it in every state. They just got caught in New York.
Okay.
That's
well,
actually happening to,
you might want a little
My cousin's. I'm gonna call him her husband, but they don't believe in marriage. But they've been together for like 20 years.
So they're ghetto married.
Yeah, pretty much. They just don't believe in marriage. Um, so her husband, for lack of a better term, he his company's stealing from him.
Okay, back in the fairway. Let's set our sights on.
He's been letting it stack up too. Like he said, as of right now, they owe him like $45,000.
Damn.
And he's like keeping tabs of all of it. He knows they're doing it. He caught him. He like caught it years ago, like 2 or 3 years ago.
Nice.
And he's a master electrician with like 25 years experience. He gets paid a lot. He gets paid a lot, you know. He gets paid a whole lot. He gets like, I don't know, $60, $65 an hour, 70.
You, if they sink this.
So, you know, like, so it stacks up over the years. And he went back and he found, yeah, he said he's owed about $45,000, and he's basically just waiting.
Nice to save par here.
For when, like, if he loses the job, or if he leaves and goes somewhere else, he's gonna sue him for everything that they owe. I'm like, that's so smart.
Or you could just be like counting that as money in the bank. What if they like go bankrupt and then there is no money? Like you know,
up to a par
you
3.
sure?
Oh, they're not gonna. Well, I mean, for them to go bankrupt would be crazy because they're like a major like electrical service provider, commercial
Okay.
and residential. So it's like a multi-million-dollar company. But yeah, like he said, like he like literally caught them doing
Shit. Kicked left.
that was how he caught on to it.
Nice.
Sorry, he caught on to it.
Ready
How?
to tee off here.
So a few years, like I guess it was like 3 or 4 years ago when all this went down, maybe 5 years. They used to give them paper checks, and he got a check,
They've gone with the 6
and then they
iron
told
on
him
this
to
one.
bring the check back because it had the wrong amount on it, and they
He's
took
getting
like
ready to fire away with
took
the
like a
second
couple
shot.
$100 out of the check. And then he was like, wait a second. He's like, he looked at his hours and he like figured it all up. And basically what they did was they just recut a check and just like took $200 out of the check. Like, and they've been doing it ever since.
You'll go one up on your opponent. You can just sink this putt.
He gets paid every week. So it's like, it's been going on for a long time. I can't remember how long he said exactly, but he said he first
Really good.
figured it out probably like 3 or 4 years ago. But he said it's been long enough to where they owe him like $45,000.
No, that was tough.
I'm like, damn, that's
a little bit
crazy.
too hard on that one. All right, this
Rio, you. I'll be honest with you, man. Ever since I've been doing the kind of work that I do now, the reason why these projects kick off usually is for that very reason.
They will go one up. For
It's a bunch of people within the business that just cook books,
That putt will go to par.
Mm-hmm.
burn funds to raise budgets. It's all crooked, man. It's so rampant. It's insane.
It's only illegal if you get caught.
It happens literally everywhere. It happened in Kern County, happened in Redwood City, happened in New York.
All right, give this.
It's like it happens literally everywhere. It's crazy. Everywhere, man.
Good shot. Good luck on your second shot here on the 14th.
Like, dude, the job market's so crazy right now. Like, apparently, the average pay now for a software developer, they make less than I do, which is completely insane. Like, I'm gonna hang on to my job that I have for as long as I can. My job might go away in July of this year coming up.
Yep.
Yeah, because my contract ends. It depends on whether or not they want to put me on another one. Now, granted, my 5 year with the company is coming up in January. So that, that probably means something, right? Or it used to.
I'm okay with that. And what will he do
So,
from here? 115.
I've really got a lot of reservations about this upcoming year. Like this, most people might have that sense of optimism and fresh start and all this shit. Mine's more like,
This approach is
I just
leaning
don't
a
see
bit to
good
the
things
right.
happening.
I'll be on. Well, Rio,
Okay, this is
I'm
the
gonna say
third.
something for both sides on this because I agree with you, but I'm just gonna say this, okay? Take no offense.
Okay.
Or this is not, I'm not talking about
This
you
putt to win the
specifically,
hole.
Okay.
but there are people that are terrible on both sides of the fence, right and left.
I wasn't even really talking about politics. I was taking more personal, but yeah.
Well, this is going to play heavily into what happens next year. I think all hell's going to break loose. Like, I think somebody's going to try to kill Trump
And
again.
after that hole, we're all square.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's all going to go down. But
Now on the 15th
Okay.
hole.
what I will say is this, and again, I mean no disrespect here, because you're a good guy, you're a great friend. This is not directed toward you, all right?
No, just say it.
But the left is just full of psychopaths, man. They are some of the most dangerous-minded people I've ever seen in my life. And that's not to say that the right doesn't have its psychopaths, because it does too. But everything I've ever seen from people that like lean toward the left is just so hateful. It's actually like mind-blowing. So the reason why I say that is because I feel like there's a very real possibility that a civil war pops off next year.
Yeah, but where are the boundaries?
I don't know if there are any, man. We're entering into this era of existence where like people are just doing whatever, just blatantly walking up and just murdering tons of people at once.
This is his second.
All this different crazy stuff. All these school shootings have been happening for the last 10, 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
Like all this stuff is just getting worse and worse and worse. But the vitriol that I see from the left is insane, man. And I've seen a lot from the right too. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, I don't really fit on either one of those sides, to be honest. I don't know. I just want people to just be left the fuck alone, really. But I mean, just it's actually insane. There's like people out there calling for white people to be killed. People out there, just literally ready to blow the world up for the whole transgender movement and all that. That's just like, bro. You know what, man? I'm just gonna let's talk about that just for a second. I want to get your opinion on this.
Okay.
So you're not offended, are you? I'm not talking about you.
You're fine, bro.
Here's his.
Okay. I'm not talking about you at all. I'm talking about what I've just seen from that side.
You're fine.
So the whole transgender thing, man.
I am streaming. Keep that in mind.
No, that's fine.
So
I'm not against anything, man. I want people to be left alone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was nice. Back-to-back birdie.
But I understand why people feel the way they do. And that's why I'm trying to. I want to get your opinion on what you think about all this. You know what I mean?
I mean, I had students that were trans when I was teaching kids, and I don't know. I don't know what to think about it. Honestly, like, I know that it's not something that necessarily, like,
16th
applies
is
to me.
upon
I
us
know
here.
I don't
Let's
feel
see what
like it.
happens.
I don't know what it's like to fucking wake up and feel like I'm in the wrong body. I don't know that. But, like, do I understand that certain people do? Yes. So, like, to me, it's like, does it really matter if I understand it or not? Because it, you know, like the
Well,
argument of like, okay, I don't want fucking guys, you know, dressed as girls and going into a bathroom, or like I don't want a man playing a woman's sport or whatever. Like, okay, the people that are on like one side of it, like that's their thing. When people are on the other side, is like, I don't want this trans person to kill themselves.
well, see, Rio, the reason why I bring that up is this wasn't an issue
Ooh, maybe we can get
until the last
kick
like
left
5
here.
years or so. Before,
Ah, that didn't hit the mark, did
there
it?
was like no talk about any of it.
Alrighty, he's good to go on this one. Let's see
And
how he does.
to top it off, there wasn't much really going on with it. So the reason why I say that is
So here's a look at their hybrid.
those kinds of issues or
Okay, he's
topics.
setting up
It's
second
not really an
shot
issue.
here.
I mean, people aren't really, as far as I'm concerned. Um, those types of topics didn't start catching fire until social media
Second
became
shot on
huge.
the 16th.
So now that everybody and their cousin is on social media, Papaw, Granny, literally everybody's on there.
Yeah.
The way that they try to force it down people's
Will
throats
he make it? He's got a long putt.
goes against what these people have known their entire life.
Oh my goodness. And this putt to go
Think about what I'm
one
saying here.
up for the match.
If I went to my grandfather and I told him, and if he was alive, if I went to him and I like showed him the way that things are starting to go, he would be like, "What in the what are you talking about?"
Yeah, times change. I mean,
He'd be,
That hole will be had.
yeah, but that doesn't. They don't always change for the better. Like trying to shoehorn all this stuff into a political strategy has like caused like this huge divide
Par 4 for this
in the
one.
country. That's the point I'm trying to make.
yeah.
Nobody really talked about this kind of thing until it just got shoehorned into all political agendas. And now it's turned into one of the biggest like topics in all of America. And there's only like 1 or 2% of the people that are actually transgender. It's very, very few and far between that that's
Right.
actually a thing. So why?
Good little shot there.
Why is the whole country ripped apart
And let's see
by a
how this
1 to
tee shot
2%
fares for him.
statistic when no one thought anything about it 20, 30 years ago?
I'm pretty sure trans people talk about it.
Well, I mean, were there a lot? Were there more trans people then? That's a question that we don't
I
know.
wouldn't say that. I would say there was probably the exact same amount percentage. But I
Very
don't
small, yeah.
No, yeah, I mean, probably. I mean, I'm not going to pretend like I'm some sort of PhD on gender studies.
Oh, I definitely don't either.
Just someone with an opinion on it. Okay.
Well, the only reason I brought it up is because like it's fascinating to me how that topic is destroying the fabric of our country, the argument between the two sides, when the statistic is incredibly small. Chances are you're never going to meet one. Unless you live in a certain city.
I mean, I live in...
They tend to be in certain locations more than others.
Oh, that's what you want.
I mean, yeah, in my town of Taylorville, Illinois, fucking 11,000 people, probably not a big trans community there.
No.
But
there's not one here either. I've never actually seen a real trans person, and I used to live in Louisville, which is crazy
get out
to
of the
say.
sticks, man.
Huh?
Yeah, okay.
The sticks are not. That's Louisville's not the sticks. It's a very
This
big
puck
city.
drops
I
even
guarantee you,
one
in a
puck.
population density that size, there's someone in that city that is trans and you probably just never met.
I guarantee it. I'm just saying. I never met one. I've met people drag. I've met drag people.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them. In
One of my
Louisville.
first lift
That shows
fares
some
was to a
resilience.
drag
Birdie
person
this
on their way
one
to a
after
show, and they were in full-on
bogey
regalia.
last. Well done.
They're some of the coolest people I've ever met, actually. I've talked to a handful of drag
Final hole of this one.
people in Louisville. They were just the nicest dudes. It was crazy.
Yes.
They were all
That's a good
super nice,
swing.
man. It was wild. And like I said, man, I think people put way too
And
much
let's see
stock into
how we
trying to
did
hate
on
people
this
for
hole.
no reason.
Yeah.
If someone wants to, it just feels like they're in the wrong body and they transition or whatever, I understand why people are against that, because it's very alien to them. The whole concept is, but I also feel like you should let people be who they are and quit worrying about it.
Right. It's none of my
But-
business.
Yeah, my thought process on it though
70 yards.
is not the driving force of the country by any means. Like, everybody's at each other's throats over this, and it simply just doesn't affect them in ways that they perpetuate in, like, social media and stuff like that. They make it sound like it's like a supersized, like, national issue, and it's not. But then again, like, you've got people that their whole lives where they've grown up, they've always just thought that there were two genders, right? Male and
Let's see what
female.
happens here. He's got about 170 yards.
I understand why they think that and why they cling to that too.
Yeah.
On the other side of the coin, yeah, because that's all they've known. That's what they were taught. That's what they were taught in school. Like, that's literally what they were taught in school. And obviously, our education is not in any way the best in this country anymore, but people do have pride in their schooling that do go to school. So they're basically being told that everything they've been taught is a lie. So naturally, they're going to be pretty upset about it and defend it. They're going to defend the notion that, nah, that my whole life I've been told this, and now we're just trying to change everything. And yeah, you said times change, Rio, but like, that's the thing, is like, people don't necessarily change.
Well, no.
Especially when they're set in their ways. Or if you're straight, right? You're not straight and then all of a sudden decide you're going to be gay.